Lots of things. How's everything on your end?
Really great. I officially have a high schooler today. I don't know how that
Congratulations.
happened. Yeah, yeah. It was a momentous occasion. She got selected one of three to give a little speech, and she did this slam poetry, very creative journey through sixth, seventh, and eighth grade.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes.
amazing.
Yeah, it's something.
We have only one more kid left in elementary school, so we had a not quite as momentous of a shift, but we'll have a sixth and seventh grader next year. So yeah.
Yikes. I'm very sad to see time go so quickly, and I'm thrilled to be done with middle school. Mic drop, no more middle school.
Yeah, it has its ups and downs. It was better, middle school was better for our kids than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Well, I mean, I say our kids for Oliver, so it will to be determined on the middle child. But for him, the switching of the classes and
Mm,
just the, subject matter experts focused on a particular topic, I think can bring out more meaningful conversation within the classroom. And so just that style of learning that he'll experience for the rest of his learning career, where it's, shorter classes and then homework just worked better for him. I was way more concerned about that milestone.
yeah. So we've got all these milestones. We celebrate them differently now, right? Like, did you have an eighth grade graduation? Because I did not.
No,
No.
no, I don't think so. Everything is a graduation now.
Yes. Do we need that many graduations? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I'm a head baseball coach, and I want to end this. It's been a really fun season, and like Andre and I are talking about like ending it with some kind of a celebration. And the last couple seasons, candidly, we didn't. We just kind of were like, that was the last game. Okay, bye everybody. But
Yeah.
it felt like a need for just a party, maybe to talk to the parents, like because they just hear me grunting and speaking various things under my breath or out loud in the dugout. I'm not that obnoxious, but I am competitive.
All right. So what about the milestones at work? What are some that are important and what are some that are not?
I probably should be better about celebrating people's work anniversaries than I am. I think I've had the conversation quite a bit to kind of mixed reviews. Like,
Okay.
um, I think promotions are absolutely things that should be celebrated.
Yeah.
I think it's underrated and you and I have talked about like the celebration of somebody going to a new place. Like we had
Yep.
somebody, actually, we've had a couple folks recently that moved on to really amazing opportunities outside of Canvas. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. I think like, um, in different situations, with those folks, but I'm really happy for what they're going to go on and do, and it'll be new challenges. And I think that can be refreshing and energizing for not just the person moving on, but for the organization to really think a little bit differently about, hey, we've got this next layer of talent, hopefully, that we can kind of move and look at things in a different way. And a lot of that stuff's happening right now in organizations. So
Yeah.
promotions, the exits.
Promotions are a thumbs up, exits are a thumbs up. You're on the fence about anniversaries.
I'm on the fence about anniversaries. We just did a retirement for
Ooh, okay,
someone that
retirement.
was
Yep.
so awesome.
Ooh.
So awesome. And fortunately we're going to be able to keep our buddy Kim Arnold as a compensation consultant.
That's really cool.
So she's gonna kind of retire and then come back and really work in a different capacity. And there's nobody better than
That's
someone
cool.
who's worked at almost every job within our HR team to be able to come back and know our organization, but also be objective. So, but yeah, the work anniversary thing is interesting to me. It's like, congratulations, you've made it another year.
hmm And I'll tell you, so I just celebrated my third anniversary at Community Financial, which is bananas. And we are going through the process of reflecting on 3 years of accomplishments, and that's important. Being able to look back and think about what happened and what you learned. And we move so quickly through life that I think those reflections are critical.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think for a CEO, that's very important because it's like, let's all new, direction. See, I mean, I'm the first to admit that maybe I should celebrate them more. I would celebrate that milestone because it is a real change for the organization and a change in culture. And of course, you brought so many different things that, as I would expect a CEO to do, bringing in new ideas and really implementing new things that are going to impact the culture and the way that the credit union operates. So I don't celebrate my own work anniversary. There are some key parts of it though. Like if you have a vesting schedule, you should
Ah, yes,
celebrate that.
that's
Like at
true.
Canvas, it's 5 years, boom,
Yeah.
vested. And I
See?
always make the joke. I'm like, all right, well, when's that person gonna take their money and run? But it doesn't typically happen that way.
Well, so let's think about it a little further. If you don't want to celebrate it loudly, there still is a reflection opportunity, which I think is important no matter your role. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if you're sure.
No, it depends.
That's
I
your
think
favorite answer on Third Fork, I think.
it
It
depends.
depends.
I know. I have to think of a new phrase.
No, I like it. I like it.
Um, I mean, there aren't enough universal rules in HR and career growth and all that fun stuff. But
Yep.
I think a time of self-reflection, I'm a huge fan of self-advocacy and employee-driven everything, career development, reflection. I think we all need to be aware that our bosses do a lot more than just manage us as individuals, right? But yet sometimes I've found myself in situations where I forgot that. And it was like, well, I need to be the one championing or, thinking a little bit differently about my own career, things I should celebrate, maybe things that I need to continue to improve upon. I tend to do that on a calendar year.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why I'm less on I think there for the organizations that do performance reviews by anniversary may be different, but I'm just wired around the calendar year. So you kind of go through the holiday, the self review, the performance review. And I mean holiday, I mean like December, January, February, the pay, all of that. And then this period we're in right now tends to be, kind of planning and getting it done kind of part of the year, and hopefully for people to take some time and reflect. So full circle there.
I agree.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
It does make sense. Are there certain number anniversaries? Is there a 30 year or 40 year or 50 year that you think, well, that one we got to celebrate?
I mean, I think these days it feels like 10 should be celebrated. There's not a lot of 10, but maybe
Depends on the organization.
20. That's true. A lot of credit unions, you do see people that have been there for a long time. 20
We got
years is a
some
long
40s
time.
here. Some 40s,
That's impressive. That should absolutely be celebrated.
right?
I'm in on that.
I am
See,
too.
20 years, 25, 30. Those are big milestones.
Yes,
I mean, a 40-year, that means you've spent basically, your career at that place. Like what an amazing dedication.
agree.
I dig that.
Yeah, I like it.
What are we missing from a milestone? Other
Well,
things to celebrate?
birthdays, I realize that's personal, and I do a card for every team member's anniversary and birthday. I do that with a pen, which means my hands get a little
That's
angry.
legit. That's legit.
I think it's important and hard.
Yes. It's really meaningful. Babies too. I'm a big fan of the celebration of the baby and what that means. I think,
Oh, thank you.
for
That's
our,
an important one. Yes.
And this is
Hmm.
maybe an area where I'm more biased towards the mother, probably, because like, you know, they're having to come back to work 3 months, 6 months down the road. And that's a really challenging thing to do. And so I feel like that's a space where I know as a dad of three, but it's harder for the mom. I'm just going to say it.
It's a really difficult thing. Although I will say, no one will be surprised by this. I saved and saved it. So at the time when I had Mackenzie, I did not have a lot of opportunity for maternity leave. So I had been banking because we had to work really hard to have Mackenzie. So I had been not taking time off, also not surprising, to save all this time. And so I had 12 weeks when I bonded everything
Okay.
together. And 2 weeks in, I was like, what? There's 10 more weeks of this?
You're ready to go.
And I started a blog. Again, I just started.
Yeah. I think it probably gets to a certain point.
It was hard. It was
And
hard
this is
work.
that time of the year where you see academic. Uh we've had MBAs that we've sponsored as
Yes.
part of in their
Graduation
entirety.
milestone.
Yep,
Yes, that's a good one.
absolutely.
Love that.
And so we had parties for those folks. We had people that graduated in 2 years and then people that graduated in 3 years from our MBA program. That was definitely that's a huge deal.
I
So
love that.
I think that's appropriate.
Oh, I have one. And Community Financial is going to have one. How about the anniversary of the organization? We're about to turn 75 next year,
I love that. I've been thinking
right?
a lot about that. Like this idea that we've been around for a long time as organizations, and I think like sometimes we forget that. I was just having a conversation about I think you all do such a great job of celebrating the legacy part of it. It's a true differentiator that our competitors cannot offer.
Yeah.
I
And
love
the,
that.
the bridge from history into the future is really an important one.
And I think it resonates with our members. Like
I
that's
do
part
too.
of the safety and security and all of that.
I've seen some
Taking this
credit unions
away,
that have
we're going to be doing an anniversary of public service in Canvas.
that's neat.
We're not. I'm just going to propose it. And I'll
Oh,
probably they'll think I'm crazy.
I like it.
You
This
heard it here, everybody.
we brought it into being.
Maybe
There
it's
are
just
some credit unions that do a really nice job in their physical spaces of having a wall of history, which is really cool.
I think so too.
Sweet. All right. So I think what I hear from you is it depends.
Once again, the startling revelation of maybes, sort of.
And I'm generally going to say more celebrating is better. Life
I would
is short,
agree.
but
Yeah,
sweet for certain, as Dave would say. And we should celebrate things.
agreed.
All right, sweet.
Go
Friends,
celebrate.
celebrate. We will.
Boom.